what your defense is going to look like in the regular season?
I think the first thing about our defense is the way our guys play with effort, right? The physicality of our defense. That's who we are. No matter preseason, regular season, that's just who we are, and that's what you saw in the preseason. That's what I expect to continue from our guys in the regular season. Just playing hard, playing for each other, playing fast, attacking the ball, swarming to the ball. That's who we are, and that's what I expect from our guys.
It's kind of a theme that we've heard from you since we've been talking to you. Do you kind of feel like, as a former player, that sometimes coaches kind of muddy things up, that the best tools you can give your players is just to go out and play fast?
Yeah, that's it. That's everything about this game, right? Guys playing fast, but also playing smart, understanding, right, tendencies, formations, things teams are giving you. But can you decipher that information, digest it, and go play fast? Not have to continue to think about what you have to do, but now you can focus on the opponent and what are they giving you. Can you tee off on some of the formations, some of the indicators that offenses give you? Can you tee off on those things and play fast? That's what, and I believe that defense is all about, guys understanding what to do and being able to do it at a very fast pace.
What have you seen from Josh Norman so far? Where is he sort of at right now?
Yeah, Josh has been working well, and we've had him in for a couple of days. He's been learning. He's been doing a really good job. You know, you can tell vet who's been around for a while, knows a lot of ball, very smart player, instinctive player. Has made plays in this league since he first came into the league. So excited to add some veteran depth there to our corner position.
A training camp, is he in good enough physical condition right now to be able to play Sunday if you do need him?
Yeah, one thing about Josh is, like I said, he's a veteran who's done it for a while, smart player. So we're still working through all those things, but Josh, you know, he's in a really good place right now.
Rico, why has this defense just in general had so much success against Jared Goff, particularly the last 2 years?
I think when you talk about our defense and just, you know, how we approach things, it's just all about us. It's about us. It's not about, you know, a particular person or a particular team. It's about us, you know, owning the fundamentals of our scheme and what we do. If our guys just own what we do and go out and play fast, that's what it's all about. It's not about who we go against.
From Nick Bosa, a couple weeks of practice, and does he look like the player he was before injury?
Yeah, Bosa is looking great. He's done a phenomenal job. You know, just a testament to him, the work that he's put in, you know, throughout this whole entire process of rehabbing. You know, he's worked extremely hard, and I'm very proud of the work that he's put in and put himself in a position to be ready to go here week one. You know, I'm very excited, very fired up, and he's just been a true pro. Even though he's still a young player in this league, you know, he really does a lot to take care of his body. All right, he's in shape. He's looking fast and explosive, so I'm excited to have him out there.
How is he in terms of technique? When he came into the league, he was very, I guess, savvy for a rookie. Some of the guys said it in terms of his technique. Has he been able to work on that when he's been away?
Yeah, he's been able to work on his technique, and I think Bosa has actually come back, and he hopped right back in. He's actually done better, you know, than he first started. So, you know, I'm excited to see him against live competition on Sunday. I'm excited to watch him, and I'm happy for him. Guys that battle through injuries and all of the things you have to go through, the mental strain that it puts on you and the physical strain. Like, I'm just proud of guys who are able to bounce back and be able to go back out there and play on Sunday. So it's a really big day for him.
Warner said yesterday that kind of the new all gas, no brakes is Swarm. He said you came up with Swarm. Can you talk about the genesis of that?
Yeah, Swarm for us means it's all about the people that I want on our defense. You know, Swarm is I want special people with special work ethic and a relentless mindset. That's what Swarm means to me. So it's all about the people, right? It's all about the mindset that you come in every day, you're attacking the day, you're attacking the daily process, dominating not only on the football field, you're one-on-one, but you're dominating the little things, whether it's taking care of your body, nutrition, weightlifting, the way you practice, being deliberate. It's all about having a relentless mindset in your pursuit of being successful and being the best that you can be.
Emmanuel Mosley can't go on Sunday. Who do you expect would fill his spot?
We have a lot of options. We have a lot of options of guys that have been here and played in our scheme, that have done it. We've added Josh, so we have a lot of options there.
Talk about Dante Johnson. You know, he's been up, he's been down, he's been cut, he's been brought back, he's been 53, practice squad. What is it about him that you appreciate just as a player?
Yeah, Dante is just a consummate pro. I mean, you can always count on Dante to be ready. And I know he's been through a lot of ups and downs, like you said, on the roster, off the roster, practice squad. But Dante, the man, has never wavered. He's the same every day. He's always there leading the younger guys, helping those guys out. When we put him in there, he's able to perform the techniques that we ask him to do. So just very appreciative of Dante and his role, what he's meant to this organization. I mean, he's an important piece, and I'm happy that we were able to get him back. But I love Dante, love his spirit, love his energy, and I really love his leadership that he provides for our young guys.
What are the challenges for you going into not only week one, but first-time head coach, a new offensive coordinator? Do you go and you look at Chargers film from the last couple of years for what Anthony Lynn might do on Sunday?
Right, we understand who they are. Anthony Lynn's perspective, former running back, who's played in the league. So we understand that they want to be a physical, run the ball, smash mouth team, from the head coach to the running back coach and Deuce Staley. Right, Anthony Lynn, we understand their mentality. So we've been looking at a lot of different things from these guys, from all the places that they've been. First game, it's always kind of a toss-up for everyone, but you can't really get focused in. New coordinator, new team. There's not a lot of things that we have on tape versus these guys. So that's why I say it has to always be about us and what we're doing defensively. And are we on our job? Are we doing what we're supposed to do, and are we able to do it at a very fast pace?
What is it that led to Jimmy Ward getting named the captain for the first time, in your opinion?
Jimmy he's been outstanding since he's been here, and Jimmy he's grown into that leadership role back there. You've always had Jimmy and Tart here for the past few years, but Jimmy has really stepped up, done a great job of leading, and I'm excited for Jimmy to be a captain. The guys love it. Everybody loves it when Jimmy brings the team up and he talks to the team. He always has a positive message, always has an encouraging message to the team, and our guys feed off of Jimmy's energy that he brings. And you also know the playmaker and the style of play that Jimmy plays with. So, I'm very happy for him to be named captain for the first time. It's very deserving. And Jimmy is a special player, special talent, but also a great man.
What is your leadership style, and what qualities do you look for in players to be leaders?
Yeah, I think, my leadership style, first and foremost, it's all about being honest with guys. With players, it's the biggest thing you have to be, is just honest and direct with players. That's what players appreciate the most in this league, just being honest and straightforward with them. And it's always about encouraging, being positive and uplifting. So that's my leadership style. And from a player standpoint, I think players, first and foremost, you lead by what you do on the field. Right? When you're out there, you're doing what you're supposed to be, you're where you're supposed to be, you're accountable to your teammates, and guys look at you as a leader, and guys are looking to follow you. All right, thanks, guys.
You guys must be excited. Got a lot more front row seat people here today. That's exciting. How are we doing today? Yeah, more excited than you guys apparently, because that was pretty bland, disappointing.
You're doing fantastic.
There we go. No, it's good. It's good to be in the regular season again and coaching football and getting ready to play games.
Mike, we've been asking Kyle on the last couple of weeks who's going to be the starting quarterback. Did you get a sense behind the scenes how he was really amused by those questions? Or not?
Yeah, I think it was because I'd watch the press conferences just like you, not in person, but I'd watch it after the fact, and I think it came across the same to me. We didn't really talk about it, but it is funny the little banter you guys have going on. But that's normal, I think.
How do you, when you start the game plan for an opponent, when you talk about the use of the quarterbacks, how much is it what Trey is ready for, and how much of it is just the specific matchup against the defense?
Yeah, I think that's really all of it in terms of you're balancing all of that. You want players to go out there when they're ready and able to perform well, but you also you're putting players in just like you put one week we might run 2 tight ends, a fullback and 1 receiver on the field a bunch. You're doing yourself. You're trying to create a competitive advantage with your team, and quarterback, like running back, like offensive line, we look at it all the same. We just happen to have depth at multiple positions, including quarterback on this team. So you're always looking at what's the best thing for the team and approaching it through that lens, and both player and the defensive scheme are incorporated in that.
Start that process of kind of passing along your thoughts to Kyle. How much do you need to know about the condition of the finger and what he can and can't do?
You try to approach it like both things can happen. Like just like today, we have to approach tomorrow like, hey, he might have an injury setback, so you can't pigeonhole yourself in one direction or the other. You just make yourself really available to do whatever it takes, and whatever is available to you. So like, you don't have a crystal ball to look at injuries. You're one hit away, one snap away from not being able to play, so you can't really pigeon yourself in any direction. You just try to give the play caller tools in his toolbox and go from there.
For you, or challenging having a player with Trey's ability and your role in sort of drawing up a play or a run scheme based around what he can do?
Oh, for sure. I think it's really cool for our entire offensive staff. We all have a lot of history together, and we've been on multiple different teams together. Offensive line coach, running back coach. It goes down the line, and it is exciting and fun when you can approach things with more of an open lens, or you're really not hamstrung in one direction or the other. It's a challenge too because there's only so many reps for everything, so you kind of have to be smart with what direction you go and how much you commit to one thing or the other. But it's a challenge for the defense. It's a challenge for the offense. It's whoever does it better.
Were you part of that group in 2012 in Washington?
Oh, yeah.
RG3 stuff. Did
That's
you go back to that?
Oh, for sure. No, that's one of that was a big transition in all of our careers, because at that point in time none of us on our staff had any experience with any quarterback zone read stuff. At the time in the league, I think we were studying Tim Tebow and the Denver Broncos. That was about the only team that was doing it, and nobody was doing it out of the pistol. So at a very cool part of my career, you learned, okay, well, let's think outside the box and do things that make sense and are sound. And Chris Furster, our offensive line coach, was a big part of that. Bobby Turner, a lot of guys on the staff now were back in Washington 2012 in that process.
There are so many more options if you have both Trey and Jimmy. How important and how valuable has it been to have Alex Mack at that center position with his knowledge, being able to kind of lock down what the offense?
I just love people that appreciate the O-line and what really goes down there. You're exactly right. There's it's a great benefit to have an experienced and established quality player at the center position, like any other position. And when you have multiple schemes, the center is the quarterback of the offensive line, dictating all the calls. So when you have confidence in your calls, you can get everyone on the same page. And that's really all you're trying to do, is have 11 people work together in a direction as they best can.
Should
Trey Sermon got behind the 8 ball just a little bit. You know, he had an injury thing earlier on in camp. How has he come on in the last few weeks, and how do you expect to be able to use him?
He's been practicing well, and you know, you take rookies one day at a time across the board. You try not to get ahead of yourself because you want to put them out there with their teammates when they're ready. So every day we're evaluating Trey, and we don't. Bobby Turner does not let him slip an inch. If he's wrong on a track or whatever, he's getting coached up, and if he's doing well, we try to give him more opportunities and continue that momentum.
Go ahead.
No, sorry. What do you like about his skill set?
Really like his vision. He's a big dude that has good cutting ability, rare cutting ability for a guy that size, and really like him as a human being, the way he approaches professional football. As a professional, you know, he's working on his craft day in, day out, and his goal is the same as ours. We want the final product to be as good as it can be, and the only way you do that is if you're always hungry for him to get better and better and coach him up and see how good he can get.
One more Lance question. How did he look today in practice, and was he still limited, Lance?
Yeah, he's still limited. He looked good, but we're very hesitant to get ahead of ourselves because, like I said, you're one snap away. You just have to let the week progress and see how it plays out. He looked good throwing the ball today and moving around, but you know, what does that mean for Sunday? Well, we still have a practice to go before that, and hopefully there's no setbacks, and then we'll move from there.
The rest of the offense is pretty darn healthy. Might been the most healthy you've been maybe back to 2019. What do you guys? I mean, does that give you all the options possible, including assuming Trey's healthy too?
Oh, for sure. No, it's it's a credit to our medical staff, our organization, and it's a credit to the players because we have been training hard, but we've tried to learn from any mistakes we've had in the past. There's a lot of science involved. Ben Peterson leads all this data that he throws at us on bar graphs that we try to absorb, but we take that serious and do our best because you can't control injuries full tilt, but you can be smart about things, and it has really helped us going into this season, having everyone work together.
There's been a lot of external chatter about what having Trey involved could mean in terms of your opponents preparing for both guys. Is that something that you guys actively think about? Like in the preseason, we use Trey this way, and so the Lions week 1 will have to figure that out. Is that something you guys?
I think as a football coach, you're aware that more scheme makes people prepare for more, but I don't think that's not necessarily why we do whatever. You know, in the preseason, we're trying to get reps and see if people can get better at things. You know, so you're trying to do schemes and give a taste to your team and see how they react. Our biggest motivating factor is simply just trying to do the best football in a cohesive way and making sure that on game day, on one of our 17 ops that we get, that we're putting our best foot forward and we're not missing any opportunity to do well.
Kyle said yesterday, just as far as having that kind of rotation and making sure Jimmy can stay in a rhythm as much as possible, but he doesn't want him surprised during the game.
Mm-hmm.
So is that kind of just like, hey, maybe you tell him before the game, this is our plan, this is the package for Trey? I mean, not trying to get you reveal any secrets, but will you just kind of try to spell out as much as possible?
No, I think that it's really a lot simpler than it's really not. He's being flat honest with you. We use the preseason to prepare so that we have every option open to us. That, you know, hey, if a guy's playing well and we can do X, Y, or Z, we're going to put him in. We don't want, in the regular season for that to be the first time that ever happens. Does that mean that's going to happen this game or X amount, or we're not really thinking of it that way? You know, we're all contributing and thinking about what's the best thing for our football team and doing nothing out of sight or out of mind away from that. It's just all about, okay, how do we win a game? Because that's we're playing the Detroit Lions this week, and guess what? They have good players, play really hard, and want to beat us. So we better bring our best foot forward, and nothing else really matters to us. All right. Thank you, guys.
TJ Hawkinson.
Yes.
What is your off season? I mean, has it been the last couple off seasons you guys have trained together, or what is? You just, I guess, generally describe your relationship and your training together.
TJ's like a brother to me. We've been training since going into the summer, going into 2020 season. So like after OTAs, he came down, fell in love with it, the area, Nashville. Following off season, so this past off season, he bought a house down there. Lives about 15 minutes away from me. So we spent 5 days a week together training. Usually the weekends together hanging out. I like to be around people that hold myself to high expectations, and I think TJ's a hell of a football player. He's a Pro Bowler all last season, deservedly so. He plays well in the run game, plays well in the pass game, gets open, catches everything you throw to him. So I mean, I like surrounding myself with people like that because that's competition. That's going to make me play at a higher level. So I mean, TJ's, like I said, he's a brother to me, and I'm really excited to finally get a jersey swap with that guy.
One season of overlap at Iowa, right?
Yeah, so I was a fifth-year senior. He was a redshirt freshman, so he was a true freshman. And, I mean, he definitely turned heads every time he touched the football field then, and then he just took a bunch of steps forward very, very fast at Iowa, and he did it the right way. I mean, I like tight ends that put their face in there, like the block, they're gritty. That's TJ. And so I really like playing with him, and I'm really excited to, get him to see him play in person.
George, being a team captain, it looks like pretty much every position group is represented. You being a tight end, there's no wide receiver. Do you consider yourself kind of an advocate of the wide receivers as well? And how do you think about how you, the tight ends and the wide receivers kind of mesh and complement each other?
I think tight ends, we're big skill, as Dan Campbell says. I like that term. I think of all the things that we can do in Coach Shanahan's offense, he just puts guys at every position, like Debo gets handoffs, a little tosses, and he's running the edge. Raheem will be a lead blocker sometimes. I get the end arounds. Like, we all do similar things, and so, everyone, big skill, little skill, whatever position you are, we all do a lot of similar things. So I think we're all advocates for each other. I know I don't run all like the deep, play action routes that Debo and Ayuk and Trent Sherfield run, but I get a couple of those every once in a while. And but yeah, I think we're all advocates for each other, and I am proud of all the captains that were voted, especially first-time guys like Raheem and Jimmy Ward. I'm very excited about those guys.
How would you describe the confidence level of the team heading into week one and the expectations just going into the season as a whole?
I think we're very confident. I think we had a really good camp. I think guys generally stayed very healthy throughout training camp, so we were able to keep starters on the field competing against starters, and I think that's really good for us because if you look at our defense, it doesn't really matter. We had 11 D linemen that are all very good at football. We got very good linebackers, very good safeties, corners. So we got to go against a very good defense every single day, and just getting to compete against them, I think, has made the offense confident. And I know our defense is confident because there's some cocky MFs. I love that out of them. And our expectations, go win at Detroit and just take it 1 week at a time. And I think that's kind of what we did. We've tried to do that every single year, but 2019 we just take it 1 week at a time, and we really focus on that. And it kind of feels more like a football season. You got fans, get to actually meet in meeting rooms and stuff like that. So the football part of it's actually back, and got that camaraderie, which I think we excel at that here at the 49ers. And just excited to play football again with these guys.
Is there any trepidation? You say taking it 1 week at a time. You guys are going on another 10-day business trip, so to speak. These extended stays aren't new because you guys have done them in past years, but after finishing last season with a month in Arizona, I don't know, it left a great taste in everybody's mouth. So, I mean, what do you guys feel about going on another long road trip?
It's just something you got to deal with. It is what it is, I will say that we got to stay at the Greenbrier in West Virginia. We had a fabulous experience there last time. It's a great place, great fields, great facilities. So it's not like, we're going to go stay at, a small hotel or something like that. We get to, go stay at a nice place. And the one nice thing about that is you do get to hang out with all the guys. It kind of puts you, all together. So you got to, hang out, play cards, do whatever it is. You just get to hang out. And I'm excited about that. And, a 10-day trip, I'm looking forward to it, really. You know, we've been in camp, we've been here for the last 4 or 5 weeks, you know, just hitting heads against each other every single day, being physical, being violent, and just being able to go somewhere else, a little bit new scenery. It's going to be awesome. And then after 10 days, we to come back here and open up for some Sunday night football. So that's going to be pretty exciting.
I'm sure he's not the only guy, but Laken Tomlinson's very into the technical aspect of line play and blocking. Do you ever get into discussions with him, or do you just appreciate, I guess, what he puts into the craft?
Oh, I mean, I've always appreciated Lake and the things that he's done. Ever since he's been here, I think he came in 2018, right? Right? I think that was he at the end? When in 17? Was it?
Yeah. Traded right. Final cut.
Until my rookie season, he was here.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Absolutely.
Forget if you don't.
I thought it was 18.
I'll ask someone else about Laken.
August 31st.
No.
Really? I thought it was 18. Yeah, anyways, I just remember because I thought we played Lions right away. Anyways, yeah, I mean, ever since Laken's been here, he's always worked hard. And I mean, I don't remember a lot of things from my rookie year, so that's probably why. I just kind of flushed that whole year. But yeah, I mean, Laken's been great. I mean, he works his tail off. He's kind of like a quiet assassin, honestly, and that's what I really like about him. He doesn't talk a lot. You know, one of my favorite things, you hear him on game day. You know, he raps to himself, get himself in a mindset, and I love every second. Like once you hear Laken rapping to himself, you know it's game day. I absolutely love every aspect of that. But yeah, he's a quiet assassin. He does his work every single day. He's physical. I mean, he gets to go against DJ Jones and Javon Kinlaw every single day. I mean, that's against a penetrating defense. You're either going to get better, or you're going to get tossed on your back every single time. And I think he's gotten much better. And he's very powerful. He's very fast. And I don't know if he gets all the credit in the world just because he's lining up next to an all-world tackle. But he does a hell of a job down there, and he's definitely an anchor of our offensive line. Thank you, guys.
What did it mean to you to be voted a team captain?
I feel good about it now. Over the years, I know a few of my teammates, they used to ask me about it. Like, oh, man, have you ever been team captain? I was like, nah. I feel like I lead on the field. I feel like I lead by example, so I don't really care about wearing the C. But, you know, a few of the guys was telling me, nah, bro, that's important. I think you should take that serious. So if my teammates take it serious and coaches take it serious, fans take it serious, I take it serious. And I feel like that's an accomplishment that I feel like any player in the NFL will want to have or accomplish.
Does it make you?
When he said this, but George just called you guys, the defense, a bunch of cocky MFs, and he said he liked that about you. But I'm just wondering whether that level of swagger was there in 2019, whether it's a little bit elevated this year. How would you gauge that?
I feel like it was there. It's just you got to be inside the building. You know, if you're looking outside in, people just going to think the players who the media push out the most is only playing with that type of swagger. They don't know the guys, the underdogs. They don't know the guys who's putting in that work because they're not talked about as much. So I think it was always there. It's just we just got to show it 2019 and last year too. Like speaking just on DBs, linebackers, and the defensive linemen that was in there, just all the guys that was in there, and the guys who came back off an injury too.
We've seen from the veteran Josh Norman coming in, only here a few days, but what have you kind of picked up from him?
Got long arms. I think his arms longer than BA's, Ayuk's. Smart, crafty player. He's quick. I like him as a player. Been talking to him, trying to learn more about him. You know, he's my new teammate, so I know a little bit about, you know, what the media show, but he's a really great guy.
Why do you think you guys have been so successful against Jared Goff?
Great defensive plays, great offensive plays. I don't know, great coaching. I don't really have too much about that. I just put it on the coaches. The coaches do a hell of a job of game planning.
How helpful is it though, Jimmy, that you're pretty familiar with him, obviously, having played against him over the years. Do you have favorites, like when you know which quarterback you're facing because you kind of have the book on him already?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but it's you know, new coordinator, new quarterback, haven't just saw preseason plays, really don't know what's coming first game of the season. Really just I don't really know what to expect. So we're kind of just training, working our craft, and just gonna go in the game and play our technique. You know, that's the goal. Like I said, don't really have too much film on him besides the Rams, and I don't know if he's even gonna run. So he's probably run some of those plays, but not much. But I like Jared Goff as a quarterback. Like I said when I was talking earlier, like I feel like Jared Goff was a great quarterback for the Rams, and when they traded him, that was a surprise to me.
Hey guys, hey Jimmy.
Thank you.
Taylor Decker didn't practice today. I guess there's some question of who will be starting at the tackle positions and which ones. Do you just look at all these guys and just try to be prepared for anything?
I'm pretty confident. I don't even know what's wrong with him, but I'm sure he'll be out there. I think it's a hand thing, so it would have to be pretty bad for him to not play, but I'm definitely preparing for him.
Former teammate Joe Staley said that one of the things that impressed him about you was your technique coming in and how refined it was for a rookie. How were you able to sharpen your technique and work on those things while you're injured and away from actual full contact football?
Obviously it wasn't for a good amount of time, but just watching the game, yeah, I got to watch a lot of football last year, but it really is. Demeco said to me on my first day, it's like riding a bike. And, I mean, the first day I was out there, I was hitting moves that felt like I had been practicing for a while. So once you've taken as many reps as I have in college and the pros, you kind of comes back to you quick. Obviously, you need to rep it and make sure it's ready for the season, but it came back pretty quick for me.
To D the other day, and he said he'll be on a pitch count for the first week. What's going to be your status? Will you be on any sort of pitch count?
There's really no pitch count for me. I'm just going to go. Whatever Chris tells me. I'm fully confident to play as many snaps as I need to.
We've never asked you about the injury that happened in New York, but do you have any thoughts about artificial surfaces? Did the surface play any role in what happened to your knee?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fan, but that turf especially was brand new. They rolled it out 2 times after we played the game. I definitely am not a fan of that turf specifically, any turf, but I'm not afraid to play on it or anything like that. I'd rather play on grass, and I'm glad we have a grass stadium, but you feel fast out there, so that's one good thing about it.
One of the things you have to take into account when you're playing on that different surface is your cleats and your footwear. It looked like you changed cleats a couple times in the last few days. Are you trying to figure out what you're going to wear Sunday? And how does that factor in just for a guy coming off of an ACL trying to figure out what's best that can give you the best?
I don't think cleats. I'm not a believer in cleats are going to make any difference in any injury of that type. I think I've just been switching cleats because I'm trying to preserve the pairs that I have, so I just switch them. And I was trying to break in the ones I'm going to wear in the game. I'm wearing the same ones as last year, and yeah, I don't think that really has any effect on that, to be honest.
How you keep the same cleats from year to year?
Yeah, I'm running low, but I tried to get a pair that custom, didn't work out, so I'm back to the ones that feel the best for me.
So it's more a pragmatic decision rather than a superstitious decision. It's what feels good for you, and
Yeah, you guys are gonna get me in trouble with Nike, but yeah, it's all about comfort. I'm not trying for swag or anything like that.
guys.
We see you guys out there, and the defensive linemen seem to be having a lot of fun all the time. Definite sense of swagger out there. I mean, is it like that behind the scenes too in the meeting rooms? I mean, is that group as kind of fun loving as it appears on the practice field?
Yeah, we have great energy. I think bringing in Zach Kerr, a good veteran, loud, funny presence. DJ's class clown, and then a lot of us are quiet, so having a guy like Zach in there to brighten the mood, and Sampson's a great energy guy, goes super hard. Yeah, it's a really great group. Mo kind of reminds me of Solomon, and just how positive and just excited to go to work he is. I'm excited whenever he gets back. But yeah, it's just a good mesh of personalities, and yeah, it's pretty animated in the meeting rooms for sure.
You, Eric, and Kevin are the quiet ones?
Yeah, D's pretty quiet. I mean, yeah, Kevin, Street's quiet guy. Yeah, we got some quiet dudes.
When was the last time you had your body fat measured, and what is it?
It was like towards the beginning of camp, and it was like 9%. Yeah.
You know, we've heard your brother expects you to be a menace. Demeco says that he expects you to be even better than you were as a rookie. What do you expect out of yourself this season?
I've kind of made the pact with myself to take it one day at a time and just focus on not to get too ahead of myself, looking at like down the road goals and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to take it one day at a time. I think a lot of the stuff that I was going to be able to add to my game last year, obviously I wasn't able to, and I think this year I have that and even more. So I think it'll be a good year.
When you say that, are you talking about specific moves? What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's certain technique things, certain moves, just differences in my game, technical stuff.
Did you see TJ Watt's extension? Is that on your radar at all?
Yeah, I just saw it on Instagram. Big one.
Do you sense an extra confidence or excitement from the team going into this weekend?
Say it one more time.
Do you sense an extra confidence or excitement from the team going into this weekend?
Yeah, it's been so long since I've prepared for a week, and I'm really excited about how the offense and the defense looks. I think we had 2 really good weeks, or 2 days of really good practice, a really good camp, and we have most of our guys out there for this week, and I think whenever that's the case, we're pretty dangerous.
In training camp and getting your individual work in and then observing, what was the thing that kind of struck you about either the offense or the defense, just watching training camp unfold?
Just competitive. Obviously, the depth we have at D-line, it was a little, we had a couple little things throughout the past couple weeks that have hurt our depth a little bit, but I think the depth of the D-line and the amount of, like, one group of D tackles rolls out and the same talent and the same explosion and effort comes in right after that, and then for defensive ends, when me and D are out of the game, you have Sampson and Arden, who are just really good athletes and talented guys. So it's just waves of guys that we didn't really have in 2019. And obviously last year we were hurt. So I just think it'll be tough for offenses when they have a fresh Sampson right after I come out of the game. Like, it's going to be difficult for tackles to deal with. Thanks.
Thank you.